Layla has to fly back home on Christmas Eve due to some work commitments, but her flight gets delayed. However, her optimism isn't affected as she considers this will lead to some Christmas miracle. As she enjoys the food in the lounge, a guy and she tries to pick up the last quiche simultaneously. She tells him to have it since she already ate a lot, but seeing her enthusiasm for it, the guy lets her have it and puts sriracha sauce on it. He then drops some tiny food containers and picks them up, calling them last-minute Christmas presents, and leaves. Layla then sits on a sofa enjoying herself when a guy talking on the phone walks there and exclaims the irony out loud, making her laugh. James and Layla then sit and start chatting and enjoying their company. She introduces him to the Pentatonics band, which sings on Christmas. James and Layla can feel a chemistry building up between them, but Layla is not single to do anything about it. James tells her that if by any chance they are both ever single at the same time, they will meet at the Pentatonics concert on Christmas. Fast forward to 3 days before the next Christmas, Layla finds her boyfriend cheating on her and gets broken up. She is then ranting to her friend Roxy, who could always see he was a red flag, till the two decided to find her a boyfriend for Christmas. Layla recalls airport James and how they planned to meet at the Pentatonics concert, but this year she didn't buy a ticket, unlike every year. Looking through the website, she finds James' photo from the people who bought the tickets, thinking he did it so she can see that. However, all the tickets are sold. They try many different ways and fail till Roxy recalls Impromptu, a concierge service who do whatever you ask them to but at a higher cost. The two decide to try them the next day. The next day, Teddy walks into the office, Impromptu, giving everything little Christmas presents. He gives his boss food too, which she praises, but also tells her that even though he is gifted, being a concierge isn't one of the gifts. His probation is about to end, and the decision to a full-time job depends on how well he performs with this current client, Layla, who needs an urgent Pentatonics ticket in a few hours. When Teddy goes to his office, Layla doesn't think he is one of the employees due to his non-suit dress. Teddy feels like he has seen her somewhere, while Layla doesn't recall. Well, he did see her at the airport because he happens to be the quiche guy. Layla keeps on yapping about her desperation for the tickets and how she has tried all the ways, while Teddy just wants a moment to check by himself too. When he doesn't find the ticket on the platform they usually see the free tickets on, he tells her he knows a guy who sells them, but he isn't a technology person, so he has to go there. Layla self-invites herself that she would go too. However, the shop is closed, making Layla convince Teddy to try the shady person she found on the internet who is inviting her to a bar in broad daylight to give her the tickets. Teddy is also constantly texting the Instagram account of Pentatonics, handled by their manager, about how he needs a ticket but they cannot do that. Pentatonics turns out to be a chaotic and fun band that likes to fool around and gossip. The guy convinces her to pay $700 as compared to the planned $500. Layla has turned deaf ears to Teddy, who can see it's a scam. One glance at the ticket and Teddy knows it's from last year and catches the guy. However, Layla's unrequired effort of getting involved ends up in Teddy getting pepper sprayed instead of the guy. The manager, Scrooge, narrates the scenario to Pentatonics, making them get invested in the story about how he got pepper sprayed trying to get a ticket for Layla. Even though they cannot get her a ticket, they are still now completely involved in how the story rolls out. Layla apologizes to Teddy and helps him with his eyes while telling him how she thinks it is fate for them to meet and how she's been noticing random things as signs from the universe that they are meant to be. Teddy doesn't agree with that theory, but it's his job, so he is working hard. He finds someone who got back to him regarding the ticket. They go into a building that already seems bougie enough, so when they enter the lounge and see the aura and the decor in the ceiling, they know they have entered an extremely luxurious environment. However, the couple whom this belongs to looks straight out of Goth. Couple is weird but sweet at the same time, as the lady gives Layla a dress as a gift after hearing her story, and Teddy gets an offer from the guy, Javi, to get them a Chanel bag for the ticket. It is when they reach the store they get to know that the bag is from a limited edition holiday collection, and they have to wait in a long line to get it. In the line, Layla and Teddy talk about how she likes to spend her holiday with a boyfriend rather than family, which is the reason she needs a boyfriend. As they are closer to their turn, Teddy and Layla notice a rich lady ordering an employee to let her in first, as she is rich and influential, but the employee won't go against the store policies. Teddy intervenes and annoys the lady into standing back in line. Layla sees how grateful and attracted the employee is to him and forcefully sends him back again to get her number. In the meantime, she hands a phone to a person who dropped it and gets to know that the father and son are here to get a gift for his wife, whom they almost lost. When Teddy comes back, he tells Layla that the girl is going to sneak the bag in for them, but Layla wants that man to have it now. The girl comes back with some gloves telling them the bags are sold out except the one on display. This makes all the ones around rush to get it. The two of them leave after telling the employee to help the father and son. Pentatonix is currently reading Teddy's messages about how Layla did this and how nice and selfless she is. They soon realize that Teddy might have a crush on Layla, and they have another ship to carry along with James and Layla's. Layla is losing hope, but Teddy makes her feel optimistic again. They then go to Roxy's place where Teddy cooks for them. It is the best meal they could ever have, and well, why not when he worked in Michelin star-rated Alania and only left that job because his mother was sick and he wanted to be around her with a rather flexible job rather than a full-time chef. While talking, Teddy looks at his phone and gets to know that his cousin has 2 Pentatonix tickets, and they can pick them up from his mom's house in Brooklyn. The cousin Jordy meets them and tells them they need to get working. Teddy has started realizing there is more to it than just getting handed the tickets. Teddy's mother intervenes, telling him to get the brulees done so she can send gifts to her friends. Jordy tells them they should start rehearsing now that the introductions are over. It turns out Jordy signed them up for a lip sync battle at the Snowball where the prize is Pentatonix tickets for the winners. Since Jordy is banned for a year for slashing the winner's tire because he came in second place, he wants them to do it. For the tickets, the two rehearse for hours, and it is a hard job because they aren't exactly natural in dancing and lip syncing. During the rehearsal, Teddy has to make the creme brulees, and noticing the cups makes Layla realize that he is the guy she met at the airport. Talking to him, Layla tells him that she is a disaster in the kitchen, but Teddy teaches her throughout, and it is a disasterless romantic adventure for the two of them. Layla tells him he needs to open a restaurant, which his mother agrees as well since she isn't sick anymore. The next morning, Teddy's feelings are very evident by the fact he cannot wake Layla up because she looks peaceful and pretty. Jordy dresses Layla according to Snowball, and then they go to the event, which is full of drag queens and intense competition. Telling them to keep the sass and sparkle, Jordy sends them on stage. As the performance begins, it is a much more iconic and romantic performance in comparison to what they prepared, and somehow they end up kissing at the end of the performance. The two are completely out of place because of what happened in the heat of the moment, and Jordy and Roxy have no idea that this was something deeper than just a performance for them. Even though the rest of the stuff is happening at a normal pace, things are in fast forward for them, or they have rather slowed down as they are unable to openly talk about it by the time that they win the second place. Pentatonix sees this all and is sad that they can't do anything, but Scrooge comes in telling them someone canceled so they can send a ticket to Layla, making them excited to see who Layla chooses between James and Teddy. Everything on the other end is a rush as Jordy and Roxy go for some drinks. Jordy looks at Teddy's phone and realizes Pentatonix sent a ticket for Layla. Jordy tells them Teddy needs to perform as Santa on their show, and Roxy escorts Layla to get her ready for the show. While Layla is getting ready, she keeps on talking about Teddy, and while filling a review form for him, she realizes she is head over heels for Teddy, and all this time she is being led to Teddy, not James. On the other hand, Teddy meets Pentatonix, who asks if he likes her, to which Teddy agrees. As Layla rushes to get to the show, Teddy gets dressed, and James waits outside with a bouquet. Teddy has planned a grand gesture for confessing to Layla because she likes them. Layla decides to try going backstage to get Teddy, but runs into James. She apologizes to him about loving someone else and wishing him the best before running off. Good thing she ran off because James is pathetic enough to be at the concert with his girlfriend when he promised to do that for someone else. Layla got saved from a huge embarrassment. Scrooge tells Teddy to get on a height and slide down the chimney on cue from the song, but he is extremely scared of heights. Layla tries to enter backstage, but the guard won't let her, no matter what the situation is. Pentatonix sings the chorus, but Santa doesn't slide down the chimney. They joke that he might be stuck and sing the chorus again, and this time with a little lag and panicked sound, Teddy slides down the chimney and goes, "Ho, ho, ho." They hand him the mic and remind him to remove the costume and show him the suit he wore for Layla. As he starts speaking, Layla hears the voice and begs the guard to let her in, but he tells her she better run towards the front doors. As Teddy praises her and confesses his love for her, he hears no response. When he is about to turn back, Layla enters from the front doors and calls him out. The two of them confess their love for each other and giving everyone the perfect Christmas charm and miracle to talk about. They are then called on stage to be a part of Pentatonix's sound while everyone gets emotional at the sweet love story.